am Cynthia Elliott, and this is your top 5 self-care practices that each of us can do to improve our mental wellness. Hi and welcome. My name is Cynthia Elliott, also known as Shaman Isis to my clients, and this is top 5 self-care practices that each of us can use to improve our mental wellness. So to give you a little background, in 2019, I was launching a sustainable collection and was having a really hard time being myself and realized that I needed a dramatic change in my life. I was very overweight, very traumatized. I had never used my real name, have never told my real story to anybody, and I needed a dramatic shift. So I did that. I underwent the most dramatic transformation I've ever had in my entire life. And I finally got into mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. The 5 things that were the most impactful that I did to make that dramatic change are what I'm going to share with you today. These are the make or break practices that I suggest all of my clients do, and anyone that wants to have mental wellness. So the first on the list is nature. So we're designed to be surrounded by nature, which is a naturally high vibrational environment. But instead, we spend almost all of our time indoors and in front of a variety of unnatural screens and light. And that really unnatural behavior drains our mind, body, and soul, which is really meant to be in harmony. This is why science is finally discovering something that the mystics, artists, poets, and Buddhists have known for thousands of years, and that is that being in nature is truly wonderful for our physical and mental health, which is one of the reasons why I am outside as much as possible, as much as the weather allows. When I first started to get healthy, I would take very short walks, stretch, and I would ground outside. And it became habit forming. I have to be outside every single day in nature, smelling nature, feeling nature, because it's such a wonderful high vibrational environment, and it just naturally lifts the way that you feel. It's just so important for us. Research is now actually showing that our mental wellness is dramatically affected by being in nature. It reduces anxiety, frustration, lowers stress, enhances our focus, and increases our creativity, which we're all creative beings and we need to create. We are driven to create, and nature is a huge part of helping us do that. It also helps us connect with friends and family and other people. So number 1 on the list, get outside every day and watch yourself blossom. It will really blow your mind how much you will actually change by spending time in nature. So the second one on the list is water. Humans are really funny about this. And I have to be honest, I really believe that hearing something over and over again just makes us that much more stubborn, because that can be the only explanation for why I fought drinking water for decades. And I think most people actually do. But if you want to make one change in your life that will dramatically affect your health, I'm talking mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional, it's drinking water. We are made up of 70% water. And when we are dehydrated, it really dramatically affects us. It affects our mental and physical health. So there's a slew of reasons why you want to drink water, because if you don't, your health will pay the price. And that includes the fact that water carries nutrients and oxygen to our cells. It flushes bacteria from the bladder. It aids in digestion, and it helps prevent constipation. It also helps with blood pressure, cushions the joints, protects our organs and tissue, and it regulates body temperature. And if that is not enough reasons to drink water, drinking water makes you look younger. I mean, it's amazing how much younger I look now than I did 2 years ago, even. And it's honestly, getting someone to drink water is the first step that I do with my clients, because if they cannot commit to drinking water, just water, for a dramatic life change, then you really aren't going to be able to do the rest of the steps that dramatically change your life. And one more thought when I talk about water. If you're familiar with Dr. Emoto's experiments with water, where they spoke positively and negatively, played positive music and more, raucous music to the water, and then froze it, and then took photos of it under a microscope, the water that was spoken positively to turned into these exquisite crystals, and the water that was spoken negatively to turned into looks like little explosions. So not only only should you be drinking water, you should be speaking positively to it, because it will help you blossom. It really will. Third on the list is something that I fought just as badly as I fought drinking water, and that is yoga and meditation. So I'm a child of the 80s, actually the 70s and the 80s. But I remember when yoga and meditation first came to the United States and started to become popular. You know, America is really funny this way. We will pick up things from other cultures, but then we just commercialize it. So we took the exercise and we left the whole holistic lifestyle and all the other things that are really much more helpful, or very helpful in having a balanced lifestyle, for like later, which is now. Actually, we're finally now really catching on. And what that did was it made yoga and meditation become this overly complicated exercise and ritual that really had the whiff of elitism and privilege to it. And I remember, you know, watching the people, the very particular types of people that were doing yoga and talking about yoga, and the language that was used in these sort of closed circles, if you will, that populated yoga. And it really turned off the average person. And that's one of the things that I really, really am a big believer in. We should be really focused on the average person, because that affects a lot more of the population than these very specific elite circles. So I'm super happy to see this finally changing, and to see yoga and meditation become much more popular with everyone. But yoga and meditation are both easy to learn. They are. I don't care what you've been told by somebody trying to sell you something, but yoga and meditation are easy to learn, and they are easy to progress in, and they are wonderful for your body. So the benefits of yoga and meditation are pretty renowned. I mean, there's so much scientific proof to support it. It does everything from improve mood to relieve depression and PTSD, which is something I know a lot about, as well as anxiety. It boosts your brain, focus, your memory. It helps you gain a better perspective on life, because you're being still. And that's a whole other section by itself, learning to be still. It really helps you manage stress, increases your self-awareness, and enhances your consciousness. I mean, that right there alone, to me, is a major reason to do yoga and meditation. And it improves your creativity. So I definitely recommend yoga and meditation. They really go together. I thought about doing these as separate categories, but they really go together. So you should be doing them hand in hand. And the best part of yoga and meditation is you can really do them anywhere. They cost nothing, and they take combined 30 minutes a day, especially when you're first starting out, even 20, whatever it takes to get you going. And with enough practice, you will be able to tap into the collective consciousness, which is something that I love. It's really amazing when you tap into the collective consciousness, and you can achieve a natural state of ecstasy, which is a place where I got to this year. And that feels unbelievable. I mean, it's an incredible place to get, and it's something that you can achieve with yoga and meditation. Next on the list, number 4, high vibing. So in my book, Unleash the Empress, I have a section that's devoted to creating a high vibrational state. Your whole life is improved by being in high vibration. There are a lot of activities that can help enhance this feeling and make you elevate your vibration. And you can do this by walking outside, singing, dancing, listening to music, painting, of course, with exercising, being in nature, as I mentioned earlier, reading, playing with pets, spending time with friends, and watching something positive. And I know there's one more, having stimulating conversation. You can raise your vibration with all of those activities. And, you know, by being aware of your vibration, you can alter it. You are so much more in control of your reality and your experience and your mood in life than we've been taught to believe. My favorite high vibing activity is using sound and music frequency to change mood and heal. I don't even know if you know you can do that, but you can actually use sound / music frequency to change your mood, to change the mood of a room, and to heal like chronic pain and minor injuries, things like that. It's amazing. In this area of science / medicine / mysticism, spirituality is going to be one of the biggest, fastest growing areas of health in our world. Sound healing actually dates all the way back to the Egyptians. A lot of people think it's something that's new and trendy, but it's actually not. It's been going on for a long time. They just didn't really encourage it because it's not something you can charge a lot of money for. You know how that works. Anyway, you use specific frequencies to achieve mental and physical changes. And so I teach the solfeggio frequencies to my clients, and I focus on the 9 main frequencies that can help you. You can wield these to affect your mood, heal, and alleviate pain. My personal favorites are 800, sorry, I always do that, 528 hertz, which is the love frequency. And that's wonderful for your intuition and setting intention. And my other favorite is 963 hertz, which is the frequency of the gods. And that lets you get into Christ consciousness and unity with the spiritual world. So high vibing, it's really, really helpful. It makes a massive difference in your life. And number 5 on the list, progressive healing. So when I went through my my big transformation, my spiritual journey, particularly the dark night of the soul, if you know anything about spiritual journeys, you know what I'm referring to. I had to spend a lot of my time doing shadow work and healing during my awakening. And after you do the work and heal from the past traumas that you've had, you really want to maintain that new state of mental health. And the way you do that is with progressive healing. And this is a daily awareness of your thoughts, your triggers, your moods, your behaviors, your environment, what's going on in your environment, the energy of that environment. And all of those things happen every day anyway. You're just tweaking, changing, fine tuning what you're paying attention to and how you use that information. So a lot of those are actually deeply rooted in our subconscious, and they are a source of adverse reactions to life. And we know what reacting is. So today, when I am triggered, if I'm reacting, I'll sit down because I've done the work, the big spreadsheet, the big healing routine. I'm in progressive healing, which is maintenance healing. So I sit down and I have an honest conversation with myself about what in my very lengthy history could be causing the reaction that I'm having, the behavior that I'm exhibiting. And I revisit and may even add a new line to my healing worksheet, which is a workbook that I have in Unleash the Empress, and it allows people to walk through a healing process. And I just revisit that workbook and will perhaps add a new line if the issue that I'm dealing with is important enough. And that workbook involves walking through the experience that you had and just asking what happened, what was your part in it, what was someone else's part in it, how you can do better in the future, how you can forgive yourself. And that doesn't always apply. These questions do not always apply, but you do need to ask yourself these questions because you can always find some way to fine tune your behaviors and reactions. And also anyone else involved, how you can forgive anyone else involved. And I think a lot of people already know this, but it bears repeating. Forgiveness is for your mental health. It is not about saying that what occurred to you was okay. It is so that you can release past experiences so you can grow. So it's kind of a selfish activity if you think of it like that way. Then I'll do like a symbolic ritual, which is something I teach my clients to release the whole experience. And my favorite is a private burn ritual, which is perfect for this. Healing is truly a lifetime journey. You may go through a big transformation where you'll do a healing exercise like I'm talking about with the worksheet. But after that, you're going to want to make it a lifetime journey so that you can stay on top of your positive mental health and wellness. If you want to get the most out of a transformation, it's important that you continue to do these little things, which are really big things, over your lifetime. So that's the reason why it's so essential to do progressive healing. So those are my top 5 favorite tips for mental wellness. Anyway, thanks for listening and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.